Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's all right out there in England, mainly, I suppose. But here it's a little bit snowy over there and a bit cold at the moment. It hasn't been too clever here recently, but actually today is a beautiful day. So back to normal for us. But what we want to do today is have a little look at the transfer window so far, what we think is going to happen, any speculation that we might hear. But first of all, we're going to do what we usually do. Let's have a little look and see who's around. That would be the clever thing to do, wouldn't it? Let's have a little look then. Come and say hello to me as soon as you get on, and then we can take it from there. We like to have a little chat. I've got my brand new, laptop. So we're hoping that we're going to get a few better results with this as it is at the moment. So let's just give it a little tweak and see if we can get anyone on. Come and say hello to me if you're there, please. It would be brilliant to get a few comments. And we got Tony Bevans there. Hi Steve, happy New Year to you, mate. And same to you, Tony. I hope everything's good, mate. Happy New Year. Not sure how things are in the UK at the moment, but all pretty good here. I don't know about tomorrow's game. I mean, I think there's a pitch inspection at lunchtime. Seems a little bit crazy, really, because it's a fair old journey to Cambridge, and people have got to make arrangements to travel to get coaches and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's something we should have done before that, really. Scott Harrison, new Butlin. I don't know what that means, Scott. But how you doing, Scott? Nice to see you, mate. Art Watson. Good afternoon, Steve. I'm here and listening. Good afternoon, Art. How you doing, mate? Yeah, so we can have a little look and see what's going on. Angus is here. Oh, nice to see you again, Angus. I haven't seen you for a while. Paul James is on to add his usual bit of wit and knowledge. So there's been a fair bit of to-ing and fro-ing and talking the way it usually is. I'm not 100% sure. The one that seems to be cropping up all the time now, particularly on Scottish websites and links, is this move for Kyogo that Celtic are apparently making now. Obviously don't know, I can't vouch for it, but the more I see it, the more I think it might be possible. If you look at, what I try to do is look at it from both sides of the coin. So if you look at it from our point of view, obviously, if we can get Kyogo out on a loan, then it's really good. We wouldn't be getting him out. Selling him, I don't think is an option because we really, aren't going to make much money from it. And Steve Hickman saying there's no snow in Cambridge. That's brilliant, mate. Fingers crossed then. Unless we're going to get some, and no one knows really what they paid for him. My guess, and it is a guess, it's around 4 million. But obviously he's got a 3-year contract, so that's the thing that's really binding us to him. So I think the Celtic move could be a really good one. The Celtic fans look on Kyogo a little bit like a lot of our fans look on Alfie May. He's kind of had a brilliant season with them. I mean, Alfie May didn't have a brilliant season with us, but everyone liked him and he did okay. But Kyogo had an absolute couple of storming seasons at Celtic, and almost scored. I think a few of them one in or just under one in every two. Which is an absolutely brilliant return. So I think with Celtic fans, they're looking at the problems they're having at the moment. They're third in the table. Rangers are being dead cocky and saying, as far as they're concerned, their main competitors for the Scottish Premier are Hearts. So that's not going down well with Celtic supporters. And I think Celtic supporters are just thinking, you know what, if we can get him on a loan, just get him in and let's just see what he does. And I don't think it would be a bad thing. I personally think it would be a bit of a coup for Celtic to do it. It would keep the fans happy. They pay his wages or whatever, Steve Hickman saying they keep banging on the media. Well, mate, it's absolute bullshit, 10 million. Absolute rubbish. I mean, there's no way he cost 10 million. He didn't score a goal last season. No way. He's 31. He's got a 3-year contract. That's the thing that's doing it. That's the thing that's doing it. The fact that he's 31, so there's no way we pay 10 million for a 31-year-old. It just ain't happening, and especially a 31-year-old that hasn't scored a goal all season. So to me, we've took him on at a reduced price. We've got him, but we've given him a 3-year contract. That's a big thing. The 3-year contract is the big thing, and no one knows what he's getting paid. So all the bullshit you read in the papers, just ignore it. Read in the papers, see online. It's just bullshit. It's just made up. They just think of numbers and put them in there. But I think what I've said is fairly realistic. I don't think it's going to be any more than 4, might even be less. But we took a gamble on him and it hasn't paid off. If you were guaranteed that every single gamble was going to work, then we wouldn't have any issues with signing players. We could sign whoever we wanted. I know there's mixed feeling about Kyogo in the group and in the club. For me, I like him, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to work for him. Particularly now, if we buy another striker, it moves him further down the pecking order. We're having to play someone behind him when he plays. I mean, someone did say, and I don't want to be nasty about this, but someone said we should train him up to be an attacking midfielder. You can't train a player up to become, and whose place is he going to take? You can't. If it was that easy, we'd just train one of the young under-21s to be an attacking midfielder and put him in the Premier League, or in the Championship. The way I look at it is a little bit off in Maish, because I think what he was used to playing up in Celtic is a lower standard of football, and I'm not saying that there aren't teams in the Scottish Premier that would probably survive in the Premier League. A couple, Rangers, Celtic might, Hearts might, but most of them are like Championship or lower level in the Scottish Premier, and I think he's just a little bit above his level, like Alfie May would have been. I honestly believe that. Lee Harvey saying, yeah, you're good, mate, been full on flu since Sunday, feeling better. I'm glad you feel feeling better, mate. It's not very good, is it? Flu, fucking horrible. So if this materialises, and I have a feeling that it might, I think it's a win-win for us, because if it goes to Celtic and he does really well, then if they want to buy him, they can put the money where the mouth is. I can't see him going there, scoring a load of goals, and then them sending him back at the end of the loan. I don't personally think, even if he does, if we put him back into our side, I probably don't think he's going to survive in the Championship with the way the Championship defences are. He's all right for like 20 minutes. Having said that, if he went and scored like 20 goals for Celtic, are we going to have big enough balls to sell him, or whatever price? I don't know. The whole situation is really interesting, and I'm thinking that I think we're talking to Celtic at the moment, and we're going to see what happens, aren't we? Paul Wall is saying Cambridge would have been an excellent opportunity for Kyogo to get his first goal. Well, mate, every game is a great opportunity to get his first goal, but he hasn't done it. It's so frustrating, this is because I like him. He works hard, he's a likeable sort of little character, but I just don't think he's the answer for us scoring goals. I really don't. I think the longer it goes on, the more ludicrous it gets, and we need Cambridge to go ahead, because we need to get our players match fit again. We need to blood some of the players that are returning from injury. We need to give Wagner a game, and we need, more importantly, to keep a run of wins going and to win away from home. Forget playing a game for Kyogo. This is us now to win an away game. It's a great chance. It's not going to be easy either. Lee Harvey saying, no chance, mate, like the Muppets think Shay Adams is coming back and he's going to score 20 plus goals. No, I don't think Shay Adams is coming back either, but we don't know. I mean, as much as I say I'll only ever put something in the group that either I know from a personal source is probably going to happen, or it's from the club, or someone credible. you also can't just dismiss it because you don't think it's going to happen. But I don't think I mean, every window, Shay Adams is coming back. Every single window. Paul James, I've seen the one about Big Phil this morning. Italian club interested. That part might be true, but I doubt we'll sell him unless the price was an exceptional one. I don't know with Phil Neumann. Obviously, I don't think that Chris Davis is 100% sold by Neumann. It might be where we can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you know. If that story is true, I don't know if it is. That must have come out this morning. I've had a really busy morning this morning, personal training and work, so I've literally just come through the door. Richard Lawton saying good morning. Hello, Steve. Good afternoon. I think it is now, Richard. Good afternoon, mate. Ian Witherington, would you type? I don't think. I mean, there's two things to that, Ian. I don't think like the way we play would really suit Shay Adams. And number two, I don't think there's any chance of Shay Adams coming back to Blues. Again, it's just my opinion. I don't think we're going to change the style of play to suit Shay Adams. And but I don't know. You know, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. I think it's just the usual talk. Every time it's a transfer window, Shay Adams is wheeled out. Emily Mould, one of our mods here, the lovely Emily, how are you, love? And she's saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Emily. I hope you're all right, love. Yeah, I'll be that about Neumann, 10 million, have him. Well, if they're offering 10 million for Phil Neumann, have the handoff. That's what I would say. Andy Wood, I might. Rumours are out of control. Just seen Dykes to Ipswich on loan. Well, I absolutely don't think that's going to happen for two reasons. Number one, where are Ipswich going to put Lyndon Dykes? They've just signed someone the guy from Huddersfield. They've got some very, very good players in that position themselves that can play that role, and why would we loan him? You know, I think we want to sell him. Paul James, Italian football websites do, but known as not reliable transfer source. Yeah, the thing with that, Paul, is that there's a lot of Italian websites like that. Like Romano also puts a lot of stuff out there. A lot of the stuff he puts out really is just it's just tittle tattle. So we have to wait and see what happens there. I don't think we're in a position where we want to sell a centre half, to be honest. We haven't got cover. I was talking the other day about the squad we've got at the moment, and to be honest, we don't really need that much. I don't think. We'll talk about it in a sec. Liavi says Steve thing is with Blues, they're thick as when it comes to selling players. We always sell too cheap. Well, we always used to sell too cheaply. We've got a different set of owners in now. The other owners, mate, you know, they'd have sold Bo Brummie if they got the right price for him. So I just think, you know, with these people, it's a little bit different. And you have to look at market values for players. You know, it's all right what we see as supporters. Looking in from the outside, Phil Neumann has been in and out of the team. He's been dropped, he's come back, he's been dropped again. You know, if you watch it, I mean, you can watch videos of Phil Neumann, he looks good, but they all do. You know, they're not going to put a video on YouTube where they play shit, are they, if you're honest? So whenever people go, I've just been watching a video, you know, it's absolutely fucking brilliant, he's, you know. Yeah, because they ain't put the shit bits on. Like I watched the Kyogo video playing for Celtic, and I was like, Jesus, I can't wait to see this player. To be fair, against Ipswich and Sheffield United, his first two games, he looked pretty good. Unfortunate not to score against Ipswich, scored against Sheffield United, but then, you know, it all went tits up, didn't it? Liavi Derby had a bargain getting down from that price. Oh, I don't know about that, you know, and we don't really know what they paid for him. It was an undisclosed fee, so I don't know where you know what we paid for him, Lee, but I know that people were saying it was 350. Well, nice guess, you know, because that's all it is. No one knows. I keep saying this, and just so that you know that I don't just make it up, there's no source from the club from our club that is going to tell you how much we paid. Even if you look at our books, you can go and look at the club's accounts now on Company's House if you want. Birmingham City Football Club, have a look at the books. Transfer fees are all put together as one item. Players' wages are all put together as one item. They're not itemised. So what people tend to do is they look at, so say you're a journalist and you want to find out how much Kyogo costs. So you look at our transfer outgoings, look at all the players, look at the sum, and then you think, then you itemise them yourself, right? And so Kyogo was 10, if Neumann was 5, if and you do that, and then you look at it and think, well, that looks about right. So Kyogo was 10 then. No, you don't know, you're making it up. Same with the wages, exactly the same. The only reason we knew that all of the old Brentford players, that were getting massive wage increases and that, there's two ways we knew. One was the players said what they'd got when the Chinese went, and number two, when Tony Routley had that all those files that Dong left behind, they itemised the players' wages, and that's how we knew what Harley Dean was getting, what all of those players were earning huge amounts of money. And we didn't find it out from the accounts, we found it out through private documents of Dongs that he left in the club and that Tony Routley got his hands on. Graham Parrish, we saved his wages, so we are better off to replace him. Yeah, I think so. I think so, but we've got to see what happens. The other one that I've heard from a reliable source is going to happen is that we're going to sign Patrick Roberts. It could take a short while to go through because Sunderland have to make sure that they absolutely want him to go. What's happened with it? Someone said to me, "Well, you'd have to pay anything for him because if he's not under contract, well, he is. He's got 6 months left on his contract." And Sunderland have also got a 1-year option on him. So if Sunderland want to enforce that option, they can. But from what I understand, they're not going to push that option. He's here now. We're paying him. We're paying his wages. He's working with us. He's a part of the team. He's playing well. It seems to, well, from what I understand, negotiations are ongoing. The thing is, there's 3 people involved with this. There's Sunderland, there's Birmingham City, and there's the agent. So those 3 people have to get it together and then, decide, is the agent and the player happy? Are Sunderland happy with what they're going to get out of it? It won't be a lot. And are Blues happy with what we're going to pay them and what contract we offer to Patrick Roberts? So Patrick Roberts is 29 in February. So, a 3-year contract would be extremely appealing to him. But I've got a feeling the club probably will want to give him 2. So that could be a stalling point. Although they gave Neumann 3 years. They gave Ducks 3 years. And they gave Kyogo 3 years. And they're both older than Patrick Roberts. So work that one out. On that B2B Brum, good channel, mate. Baz wife was on there a few weeks ago. I don't know what the B2B Brum is, mate. But yeah, I mean, do you mean Barry? I'm presuming you mean Barry Fry's wife. I don't know. What's she like? Do you like her, Lee? Yeah, so every little bit of speculation you see is mainly to get you to click a link. That's usually what you get. If you get someone who is 100% genuine and thinks that something's going to happen, then they will generally say so themselves. But I think Patrick Roberts is an extremely good one for us. We need to get him in if we can. He's performed really, really well. There's not many wingers around of that quality. And he's a Premier League winger. Don't forget, he's won promotions from the Championship. He's just very, very good, and Velcro feet, hasn't he? I mean, the 2 goals he created on Sunday against Coventry were absolute, beautiful. I mean, for me, we had to give Duxleit the man of the match because he scored 2 goals, but for me, probably Roberts was man of the match. I think he played really, really well. YouTube chance. Oh, Bazzy. Oh, okay. One of Bazzy's misses, yeah. Okay, YouTube channel. No, I haven't seen it, mate. I tend not to watch other podcasts and that because I don't want to be coloured by anything. And we don't we do things our way. I don't want to. I mean, although I was listening to one of mine the other day, and the sound is a bit harsh, isn't it? It's a little bit. So can I see them ones they've got big furry mics and they've got big headphones, and they're like, or a microphone that's like something from the 1940s, and I think, I don't really want to do that. I just want to have a chat, But I suppose if the quality's shit, the quality today is much, much better. We're on my new laptop, miles better, isn't it? I'm saying that if it suddenly dies, then we've had a mare, haven't we? But I think I've got a feeling this is going to be good, and I love these chats. Paul James, Barrington, Steve Hickman, Tom's son played well. It's funny, like saying Tom's son. I don't know if you remember when Karen Brady went to Villa and she sat with Ron Atkinson, and Dalian Atkinson was playing, and she asked she was just looking at the programme, and she asked Ron Atkinson if Dalian was his son. Clive Murphy, hello Steve, hope you're all well, mate, keep right on. That's the newly retired Clive Murphy, who's probably at this moment as we speak lying in his back garden. Probably not actually, because it's snowing there, isn't it? So probably lying in his lounge, on his sun lounger, with his sunglasses on his sunbed, with a can of cider in his hand, thinking, this is the life. Yeah, nice to see you, Clive. Roberts, absolutely, definitely, what a great player he's going to be he's just what we need to get us out of this league. Leo was saying, check it out, Paul. A few players from the old days being interviewed on there. Going back to the old player interviews, I don't know what. I mean, it's quite interesting sometimes, but sometimes it's just a bit like they drag the same old people out all the time. We've had a few on, and they're mainly friends, like Kevin Ashley and that, but we don't, we've had Tony Coton on and a few other people, but we don't, it's not like a big feature of our thing. We don't. And the other thing is that I don't like about a lot of the YouTube sites is they use the same tactic as the websites that try to get you to believe that we're going to sign someone. They put half a headline on, and then you want to see, Tom Brady and, Chris Davis, blah, 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 something making you think, something's, it's nothing, you don't know. Listen, if the club are going to say something, they put it on their own Facebook page or YouTube. That's how the club tell you things. So if you want to know what the club are saying, go now, not now, when I've finished, to Birmingham City FC Facebook page, and every announcement is made on there. So they're not going to tell us anything that they're not going to tell Tom Ross, right? He's in exactly the same position. Every YouTuber is in exactly the same position. You might have a few that have got like a contact at the club. We've got a couple of contacts at the club, but not like, they're grassing up secrets on the club or anything. I might say to someone this, like this talk about Shay Adams, and I might go, can't really see that happening, Steve. And then you think, well, that's come from someone that's pretty close to the club and has a pretty good idea, you know what I mean. Graham Busby saying these owners won't rest till they're in the Prem. The only thing with that, top 5 is it's a really tough ask for us to do now, with the start we've had. We need to show real good form for the rest of the season. We can't afford to lose many more games, because whilst we're only 7 points out of that position, out of that top 6, so if we win 3 games, we can go into top 6, can't we? Providing everyone else above us drops points. That's the thing. So it isn't that easy. Ben Colley, what's your thoughts on recruitment? Do do we recruit with Premier in mind or just solidify Championship? Does the board sign players for a big push now? No, that's the Ben. That's the big question. It could be that Tom Wagner is having a look and doing what I've just done and say, how far off are we off? What's the possibility of us making those? If we make those, we've got to be like a Coventry or a Middlesbrough were in the first part of the season. That's what we have to be like. And I think if Tom Wagner thinks there's a chance of us doing that, I think he'll put money into it. I really do. It's interesting to see that we're interested in playing. Now, you see Ian saying there, Leonard might be on the move according to media. I believe that could be true as well, Ian. Because if we are willing to move players like Leonard on, then we have to believe that someone of a better quality is coming in. And to answer the question about do we try and build for we have to have a team that's going to get us out of the Championship. But I think, particularly in the January window, it's not going to be like the summer one. We're not going to be looking at 400 clubs. We're not going to be using loads of software to narrow the field down, because we're not going to be signing that many players. And I think we're going to be looking at loans. So I think it's a case of us now looking around Premier League, looking what we can get our hands on, looking at what quality we need and what players we need. We need a goal scorer, in my opinion. See, the back four now, I'm not really sure. I was thinking we might need another left-sided centre-half, but I really don't think we do now, because we know that Buchanan can play left centre-half. We know that Cochrane can. We know sometimes, all the time at home in possession or away, we play with three centre-halves. Usually it's Cochrane, Clara and Neumann. So if, Buchanan is probably a better centre-half than Cochrane. So if Lee Buchanan comes back, Lee Buchanan left, but then of course we have Robinson, don't we? So we have Robinson. So if we were ever to decide that we might want to play a back five, which I don't think is likely under Chris Davis, although he may think now, be a little bit safe away from home, hit teams on the break, keep possession. We're never going to play that long ball game, but we could, with the players we got now. When Laird returns, we're made for a back five, really. I don't want to see it, but away from home, because you imagine that back five being Laird on the right, so the wing backs would be Laird and Buchanan, for instance, Laird and Wagner, right? And then there's three centre halves at the moment, and it would stop the issue that Chris Davis has. So on the right you would have Neumann, in the middle you would have Clara, and on the left you would have Robinson. That's a big back five, that is, with two fullbacks that are absolutely made to be wing backs. Wagner and Laird. So if we did go with a five, it's sort of, and listen, I don't want a back five, but it is an option that he has, and it does suit the players we have at the moment. We'll see the pink sky over the Blues ground. Yeah, it was the apparently it's the lighting to encourage the grass to grow, or to keep it, make it nice. I don't know. It's nice though, isn't it? Pink sky. I didn't see it. Obviously, I'm too far away, but I've seen loads of photos of it. It does look pretty impressive, with the snow around as well. Have you got much snow there, by the way? Just out of interest. Someone said earlier that Cambridge hasn't got any snow, so hopefully we'll be able to get the FA Cup game up and running and go and do the business there. And I wouldn't be playing a weekend side. Like I said earlier, number one, we need to win away. Number two wins on the bounce would be absolutely brilliant. And number three, an FA Cup run. Everyone wants one, and I just would love to get the Villa at home. I don't know if I would now, but Ben Coley, I was seriously lacking pace in the defence. Clara is a physical bully stroke machine, but often gets skinned for pace. How do we address that? Well, we are short of pace. I'd say Neumann's got pace, but Neumann Neumann's nowhere near as good a defender as Clara. Clara's positioning, I think, helps him a lot with pace. Now, when we play the possession game the way we play it and we push up, you've seen it yourself recently. I mean, people go, where was Robinson or where was Neumann? When that ball was cleared and they scored on the break. Well, he was in the opposition area playing possession football, trying to score for us. Because remember, if we have the ball, they can't score. But if we lose possession and that long ball goes down the pitch, it's an issue that every possession team faces. And then if that long ball goes back there and it's just Clara against a fast centre forward, you got no chance, So it's one of those things. But Clara usually can read the game well enough to cut the issue off. So he doesn't try and go toe to toe for speed. He'll try and cut across the player or shorten the players. Cut across him so he meets him. It's not the best way. Pacey centre halves are difficult to get. Robinson's not pacey, but Robinson's a very clever footballer, the best footballer of the three of them by a mile. Clara's probably the best in the air, the strongest. Neumann is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He played well at the weekend. Graham Busby saying, what about another keeper? We're going to need another keeper by next season. We may get one in, I don't know. I think if Beadle was going to go back, he would have gone back when Cashin went back, although Cashin's deal was already done for him to go to Blackburn. I don't see Beadle going back, and I've heard whispers Allsop isn't happy, so I don't know what the score is in there. The snow's melted. That's good, isn't it, really, I think, Paul? Steve Hickman saying Lampard moaning should have had a penalty. Listen, how many times should we have had a penalty? How many times the Ipswich game when we give, Dyche was awarded a penalty against him, like in the 4th minute of injury time, cost us 2 points. Unless there's VAR in the Championship, you're never going to sort of screw that down. There's two ways of looking at that. We might have dropped 2 points against Coventry, but VAR would have proven that Dykes didn't deliberately handle the ball, and we would have got 2 more points against Ipswich. It sort of evens itself out. I'm not saying if I was a Blues supporter, I would probably want that penalty to be given, but I'm not. It was quite amusing watching Lampard go off at the weekend, because he was really pissed off. He was almost crying, and when the Blues fans were taking the piss out of him, he was going like, won 1 game in 7 or something, and all that shite, Well, I think they've won 2 in 6 themselves now, so I think Coventry are on the wobble. I'd love them to mess it up, for obvious reasons. The more them top teams drop points, the closer we can get to them. Middlesbrough are like the team that are doing the business at the moment. And the thing is, you think we're having nightmares. Have a look at Leicester. Their fans are in meltdown. And if you see the thing I put in from the QPR, from the QPR official website yesterday, where a couple of people have been slagging off a QPR player, I can't remember his name, and on social media, really nasty, abusive comments, and the club are gonna find out who it is. They're gonna ban him, and I think our club should be doing the same thing. I think if we've got people who are openly abusing players on social media, and I mean abusing them, find out who they are, ban them from the club. Lots of them have probably never been to a match, but it's the only way to stop it, isn't it? I mean, people are like brain dead. Some people, it drives you mad. You don't want to fall out with anyone, and sometimes some of the stupid comments that you see in the group and in other groups and in social media, some of the comments are absolutely stupid, and you see, I honestly believe people can believe what they write sometimes, but they maybe do. Those social media things, they get us all down. and I hate the abuse of players. I just really hate it. There's no need for it, you know. It's like we've just been talking about Kyogo, we've been talking about Roberts, and we've been talking about Neumann and Clara and Robinson, but you can talk about players and make constructive comments about them. It doesn't have to be like constructive sort of, you know, they're good. It can be constructive comment about a poor performance, you know. Don't just say, you know, so and so is shit. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Emily Mouldy says she 100% agrees. Not enough is done to stop online abuse. It doesn't, you know. Listen. I get loads of online abuse. Emily will tell you, right? See Emily there. She has my back. But you have a little look. I get it all the time, you know, and I mean, you just have to ignore it, because if you didn't, it would like get to you, you know. Paul James saying fair play to QPR. Exactly, mate. You know, that's why I put it on there, because I think clubs need to take a stance. And QPR are a pretty good club, you know. They are. I know a bit about QPR because my mate Mark Halsey is a QPR fan, so I hear a load of shite about them, how great they are and that, you know. But I think they are a good, proper family club who protect their players. Paul Word, any news, Steve, on Laird's come back? I think it's going to be February. He's probably going to be about 5 weeks away, unfortunately. This is the only thing where, at the moment, we might be tempted to get another defender, and I don't think we need one now, because we've got Brighter Side Samuel coming back in the next 10 days, and he's been playing, obviously. We've got a right back, we have with Water that can slot in there. We have Neumann who can go there if we really need to. At left back we have Wagner. Left back is a little bit weak at the moment because Cochrane probably another couple of weeks away. Buchanan, we're not quite sure how far away he is, but Robinson can play left back as well. So, you know, had we kept cashing it, might have been a little bit better, but, you know, the club don't want to spend money if they don't need to spend it, understandably. Richard's saying, I really hate it when people call our players shit. I would ban them in my view. Yeah. Well, you know, like if people are just abusive to people in our group, they're gone. You know, it's just the way we look at things and the way we take things. It's a shame some of the other groups don't act in the same way, because honestly, like I try not to look in other groups, but if you do, some of the stuff that I allow to go on within the groups is not far short of disgusting. You know, I mean, when you administer a group of people, a fairly big group of people, then you know you have to enforce some sort of quality if you can, unless of course you're one of those people who are just happy with it. But for us, it's like with us, people say I'm a dictator or whatever. I'm not, you know. I just enforce the rules that our group has, and people don't like that. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because they've been banned. They never say a word until they've been banned. Then, you know, there's photos of me in a Nazi uniform and that, which is absolutely fucking disgusting. And it was got, you know, I mean, you can smile at it, but it's just wrong, isn't it? Paul Ward, you say we really misled. We do, mate. And it's what surprised me at the start of the season, Paul, was when we signed Brighter Side Samuel, that Side Samuel didn't play right side of midfield and keep Laird in that right fullback position, because he's absolutely brilliant there. He gets forward so well. He's an athlete. He's quicker than Samuel. And Asai Samuel started life as a right back. When he went to Fenerbahce, they turned him into a right-sided midfielder where he played really, really well. And then when we had him, we put him at right back and dropped probably what I think is the best right back in the Championship. Steve Hickman saying I run a few music groups, I stand no shit. Well, you can't, Steve, you know. I mean, people don't care, do they? You know, they just don't care about other people's feelings. And the other thing, you know, we're big on mental health, and you know, you don't want him. I mean, listen, I don't have great mental health. And I'm not crying about it, by the way. I'm just making a point, so I understand it, and it ain't nice. So, you know, we try and protect people from that kind of thing. you know, there's a lot of stuff where it's like I put a post in this morning, and a few people have sort of, they haven't taken the piss out of me for it, but a few people I think are a bit surprised. The fact I've put stuff in there about menopausal women and the shit they have to go through, and you know, a lot of women that are perimenopausal, menopausal, how it changes their life, how it affects them, and all these things are things that, you know, affect that people, you know, they may not be men, that people, you know, us men have other issues, you know. Where's my dinner? Is the washing up done? I'm only joking. So, you know, it's like we all have to live with each other, and we all have to understand that everyone has the right to a little bit of respect from people, and I bet you thought I was going to say has a right to freedom of speech. Sorry. Now, when I say that, you know, you can come in and make any comment you want in here, providing it's respectful and it doesn't abuse anyone. I don't mind what your view is, but your freedom of speech stops in this group when you take the piss. And your freedom of speech is gone. You can't make us put something you want to put in there. You can't. Go and try it. It won't work. You can go and put it in somewhere else. I'm pretty sure 99% of the stuff that we remove is okay in most groups, but just isn't there. Steve Hickman, I run a few music groups. Yeah, just had that one. Steve, Paul James, if they post shit like that, then Steve, that says more about them than you and proves you made the right. That's exactly the point. When people put that shit on there, like about me or about our group, and go, oh, you know, like, I think someone called us a cult. Said, like, he runs a cult, he does, like, you know, I think he was cult. It might have been the wrong letter. Third letter might be the wrong one. But it just means to me, I just think, well, you're just proving us absolutely right in getting rid of you, because look what you're doing on this group now, slating me the way that you were a player or whatever, you know. So they're not that bright, though, mate. They don't, I can't see it, can they, you know. But there you go. Yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be any more transfer news today. I would expect there might be something. Blues usually put stuff out early evening because that's when most people, you know, are going to pay attention to social media posts. So I would think that might be something to look out for. I think we might get something soon on Kyogo. I hope so, and I think the one for me we want to get over the line is Patrick Roberts. And I'm pretty sure they're trying to do that, but obviously things like, you know, like Patrick Roberts might want 3 years, we might want to give him 2 and stuff like that. Ian saying he's seen that. Someone did say it's a cult. It is. Like I said, I'm not sure if they said Steve Trainor's a cult and they put the wrong letter in. I'm not sure, but bloody cult! What a joke. I know you take some posts down, then they moan and want to know why. Well, the other thing is, you know, to everyone out there, if, you know, like there's 10 posts on about the same thing, then sometimes we might take one down. Or if we can't moderate the group properly, we'll turn comments off for a bit until we can catch up and moderate it, because we don't want stuff getting through, but it inevitably still does. It's a very big group. You know, we had yesterday we just almost hit the 2 million on the last month visit, so you can see the sort of traffic we get. And Clive Murphy saying it's so important to pull issues up of women and men's issues, put issues up, I'm sorry mate, so we can help one another in problems we might have. Well done the project for reaching out, thank you Clive. Richard saying, do you think CD will go to Cambridge to win with a really strong? I do, Richard. I do, and I hope he does. I pray that he does. I think I'm reading between the lines now, but if I was Chris Davis, what I would want to do now is get up ahead of steam. So we go to Cambridge, we win. It kills the away thing. We've won a game away from home. We've won 2 games on the trot. And then it starts to look better, because I think then we've only lost 1 in 5 or something, because we drew 3 at home, I think. We lost away, then we've won 1 at home, then we've won 1 away. Suddenly those losses and losses and defeats become less and less, and the green wins start coming up. So I think it's important that we go to Cambridge and we try to win. Of course, the other thing is, you know what, money, you know, we get a Premier League team at St Andrews it's a big night for us, isn't it, or a big day. Richard saying would be nice to get a home draw. It would, yeah. I mean, this time last year we got an away draw, didn't we? So I think, did we? I can't remember. I think it was the first round because we were in the first round last year, weren't we? Brett Noakes saying, I hope Kyogo plays tomorrow and scores. I know he's probably off to Celtic, but it would be nice to see him hit the back of the net. It would be, but I don't think he's going to play together tomorrow unless he's staying. If he's staying, then there might be an argument to play him, because you don't really want to risk Stansfield. I don't think that Stansfield might be one that's left out. Gimmy's going to be probably another 3 weeks. Anderson, I think, is carrying a knock. So, you know, we pretty much need to be careful about the players that we play, but we've got... Leonard might be going, so I don't think he'll feature. Anderson, the news is that he's got a knock, or could he be on his way? Then I think we have to play a strong team. You know, I just do. I think Kyogo will go once they have a replacement done. I don't think they'll wait for a replacement. I think if an opportunity comes for Kyogo to go, I think he's gone, because you can't turn down an opportunity to move him on, because he's not, you know, he's not the most attractive package out there at the moment. Celtic are probably the one team that would want to take him, and so I think if they want him, we let him go. You know, we're okay. How about Spurs or Chelsea? Richard, what do you mean, how about Spurs or Chelsea to do what? Come to St Andrews? Any Premier League team. I'd love the Villa, to be honest, except they'd probably beat us, but I'd just like frighten the shit out of them. Hopefully it'll be a night game, you know. Paul James, hoping we go after the Leeds forward. Wishful thinking maybe, but a good championship record. I see Patrick Bamford's on the move from Sheffield United too, I believe. Which Leeds forward are you talking about? Puro, I think that's his name. Yeah, I think we're more likely to loan someone who's a bit older, who's got a good goal scoring record, who's a good professional. That's what I think probably would be more our target. I don't think January is the time to be taking risks on anyone. I wouldn't mind the Violers, mate, personally. I like playing Villa whenever we get the opportunity to, and it does it already anyway. When they're winning, we don't take any notice. It's like I always say, you know, Villa still in their tiny minds think it's an insult to call us Small Heath. Fucking call it. I'd love to be called Small Heath. Keep going. So yes, but you know, we see what happens, don't we? So we only, and people are going already saying, you know, my God, we haven't signed anyone yet. It's the 9th of January, right? There's been a weekend in that time, and there's been a New Year's Day, obviously, hasn't there? All right, so there's 3 days gone. So we've basically had 6 days. We've made one signing, all right? So come on, give them a chance. These things have to be negotiated as well. You can't just sign a player. It's not like that. You don't go and knock on the door. You know, a few of them are done in advance. You know, I think we would have been looking at players, but you just have to be a little bit patient. I know we all want someone through the door. We do. Harry Park would like Newcastle again. They were lucky last time. We can beat them. I'd rather have, if I could choose one, I'd choose a Villa, I would. But how about, like, you know, how about Arsenal at St Andrews? Or Liverpool would be nice. I wouldn't want to get like a Crystal Palace or a Wolves, because, I mean, if Wolves beat us, oh my God, that would be awful, because they really are poor, aren't they? Rob Edwards, I know they've had a few slightly better results recently, but, you know, nah, not Wolves. From the Wagner signing, I think they're bringing quality. Yeah, he was a good signing, a really good signing, and I think Tom Brady had quite a lot to do with that, to be honest. From what Wagner said, you know, Wagner said that Tom Brady was instrumental on him coming to us, because a lot of people were expecting him to go to Mexico. He was going to leave Union anyway, because I think he wanted a higher standard of football and more money. Richard saying it's our heritage. and they don't understand. Lots of our fans lived in Old Smallheath, and like my dad, uncle there in Arthur Street, Smallheath, Small, Heather, Bethany. Smallheath doesn't. Calling us Smallheath is no insult to me at all. And what I always say to Villa fans, and it's true, they don't mention Birmingham in any of their songs. Like, you know, they would never sing "Proud to be a Brummie." It would kill them, you know. And I always say it's because they're not really Brummies, are they? To be honest, of course they're not. Richard saying it's our heritage and they don't understand. Oh, sorry, Mark, I've just read that once. So. Let's hope we play tomorrow. I want us to play, of course I do. We all want to play, we all want to go, we all want to win. Let's see if we can get some sort of deal over the line with Kyogo Roberts, see what happens with Kyogo. What's likely to happen as well, you're going to see something completely from left field. The club will suddenly announce a signing that no one expected, and you'll see that come in, you know, probably a Premier League loan. The Smallheath hats in the club shop are well smart. I haven't seen them, mate. You have to show us one, or take a photo of one, let me have a look at that, because I'll get my daughter to get me one. I love the Smallheath thing, you know, I really do. I think it's brilliant. So no insult to me at all, they call it. I mean, I love it. They're weird, aren't they? That I don't understand. They got like they have different sort of. Well, they're not Brummies really, are they? They're like more Tamworth, Aston, and that ground of theirs. Jesus. Are we zooming on Sunday? We are, Clive. Our Sunday zooms are on every week. There'll be a joining link. What we do basically is do what we're doing now, except you can actually come on, you can put your camera on, you can put your mic on, and you can talk to me face to face, along with everyone else that's on there, you know, so it isn't just me. You know, failing that, you can come on, you don't have to put your camera on, you don't have to talk, you can just watch and listen, like a spy, like Angus used to. You still there, Angus? Angus used to, I know what he looks like now, Angus, but for ages Angus used to come on like a spy. He used to have his collar up and his hat down and some dark glasses, and he wouldn't put his camera on, so it didn't matter what he wore really. And you just see Angus Gafford at the bottom, and think, oh, Angus is on, he's watching us again. And now look at him, he's talking and everything, and now he comes on camera. See, it's great. But if you make Sunday, come on, because it is good, and we're going to talk about the Cambridge game if it goes ahead. We're going to review that. We'll also be talking about possible signings, and we just have a little chat in general as well. So if you want to come and talk about your life, come and speak. If you're going through difficult times, Angus in the bedroom. What are you talking about, Clive? I don't understand what you mean, mate. If you want to have a chat about menopause, I think I might be going through the male menopause at the moment. I don't feel quite myself. I'm only joking. Listen, that female menopause, right, as you probably know, I'm a personal trainer, right? Nearly all of my clients are female. So, nearly all my clients are female, and honestly, it's bad, man. That menopause is bad. It's a bad thing. I feel so sorry for some of my clients. You know, just not good. But I think I've been talking enough now. We've got 53. We usually do about an hour. 53 minutes. I've been fucking rabbiting for. I can talk, can't I, when I get going? Thanks for joining me today. I've enjoyed this, and this is what it's going to be like all the time now. We're never going to lose that connection again, I hope. I don't want to say it in case it happens, but I'm absolutely sure. For me, I am absolutely, totally happy now that we are not going to have those issues again. We've had nearly 100 comments today, so that's really nice interaction. This does go as well into the YouTube group, so people can watch us later. So if you want to say hello to anyone on YouTube, type your comment, you'll be able to see it. But yeah, thank you so much for spending time with me today. It's Friday, it's the weekend, we're playing tomorrow, fingers crossed that game goes ahead. Lunchtime inspection, so we'll be watching for that. And we'll see what happens, you know. Emily Moll said another great live and chat, Steve, keep right on. Emily, you'll have to come and join us on one of the Sunday ones and come on and just have a little chat with us face to face. That would be nice. And thank you for joining us, Emily. It's really appreciated. And Richard, I'm saying Emily and Richard because they're both of them are moderators, and it's great to have some of our moderation team on because they do such a massive job for us. You know, we couldn't operate without them. I can be a bit of a grumpy git at times as well. I can be hard work, but that's a dictator's job. When you're a dictator, you have to make it hard for people. I didn't put my uniform on tonight. Thought I'd leave it off. Listen, guys, there it is. Look, wrong arm. There's the keep right, the famous keep right on. Look at that. And look what I got up here as well. Ba 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 ba. Thanks, Steve. It's been great. It's been great, Clive. Paul, thank you, mate. Emily, thank you, love. Angus, see you soon, mate. Guys, have a fabulous day. I was going to say 3 points tomorrow, but a victory tomorrow would be good. If you're travelling to Cambridge, take it easy. Watch the weather. If you're driving, be careful. Anybody wants to have a little chat later on the in the group, come and make your points. And I'll see you soon. This is going to be on the group later, so you can watch it again if you want. Why would you? Cheers, guys. Thank you. Keep right on.